It's Championship Sunday in Division II field hockey, and the stage is set for a great showcase. The 2025 National Championship game pins one of the guardians of the sport against the disruptors, the six-time national champion Shippensburg Raiders from South Central Pennsylvania against the unbeaten Wolves from Newberry College in South Carolina, looking for the school's first ever team national championship. Quick look at the bracket from Friday's semifinals. Newberry scored in the first minute of the game against Westchester. They never looked back in a 3-0 win. They've got the best offense in the country, and they jumped on the Golden Rams early. Shippensburg finally got its revenge against rival Kutztown after losing to the Golden Bears in the semis the last two seasons. Happy Championship Sunday, everyone, and welcome to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Alongside two-time Division II national champion Kelsey Likens, I'm Brendan Gulick, ready to chronicle an historic afternoon. Some great hockey on tap for you. There are moments like this, Kelsey, where legacies are defined. We have two different programs with vastly different traditions, but in so many ways, not a surprise that they're here today.
Exactly. Both teams earning their right to be here in the championship. You have Shippensburg from the PSAC, a veteran team who's won multiple national championships, but outright beat Kutztown to make it here. Newberry, new kid on the block, and we're excited to see them compete in their first national championship game.
So much to say about the Shippensburg dynasty. They've won 4 of the last 8 national titles, but for all the historical success, this year's team has not had an easy path. We will detail that quite a bit for you along the way. On the other side, teams basically, other than the Northeast and Atlantic regions, rarely make the NCAA tournament, let alone win national titles.
Exactly. It's great to see the representation from the SAC here today. It is massive growth for our sport. Being from the South, representing your team on this national scale is a huge win for this program already.
It feels like the Wolves are representing something a little bit bigger than just themselves today. Newberry, by the way, trying to pull off a perfect season, something that's only been done 6 times in Division II history. Last team to do it, Shippensburg in 2021. Cannot wait to get started. Two teams that are on the edge of glory. We've got the starting lineups and opening pass back in the national championship game coming up next on NCAA.com.
Student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, whether intimidating actions direct at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans.
Sun is starting to peek through the clouds right in the nick of time on a gorgeous afternoon at Bloomsburg University. Take a look at our starting lineups. First for the Shippensburg Raiders, a team that has overcome some really nice adversity throughout the year. And good news for them, they are as healthy right now as they've been in a while.
Yeah, exactly. And Rhea Wallace is happy to hear it. Want you to keep your eye on number 7, Hannah White. So much of their attacking game goes through her, but she has a fitness level to make recovery runs that you haven't even seen at this level. And number 22, Lily Cantabine, scoring 2 goals in the semifinal game to get to this point.
Newberry on the other side, this offense is just amazing. They have outscored their opposition this year 103-13 with 11 shutouts in 20 games.
Yeah, 2 players to keep your eye on from this lethal attack. Number 6, Emma Westbrook, leading their team with 23 goals. And alongside her, Parker Keeler, number 15, 19 goals on the season. Again, they attack with such speed, and I'm looking forward to seeing it today.
Mentioned that the sun has come out. That's great news. The temperature is comfortable. It's just a perfect day, and this is such a wonderful venue hosting this national championship now for the 8th time ever. 43 degrees. It's a little chilly, but no rain in the forecast. Perfect college hockey weather here this afternoon. Our umpires in this game, Lauren Bruce, Amy Daniel. They're on the field. Marissa Miro is on replay, and Amalit Rishin is our reserve table official. Shippensburg in white, Newberry and Scarlet, and the opening pass back underway as we play for a national championship. If you did not see the semifinals on Friday, Newberry scored less than 1 minute into the game. Set a tone early on that they regularly have throughout the course of the season, and it felt like a bit of an avalanche. Westchester played a good second half but could never get anything going against them. Shippensburg, I thought it was impressive the way they responded after giving up a goal. The Raiders scored a minute and 15 seconds later, Kelsey, and it is the only minute and 15 seconds they have trailed the entire postseason, conference tournament and NCAA tournament.
That's a stat to be proud of, that's for sure. And head coach, whoop, here comes a shot. Emma Westbrook. Oh, it'll be a long. But yes, a stat that they should be proud of. Head coach Rael is very excited for them when they're able to respond 2 minutes after being scored on. That says so much about your resiliency as a team.
It's not always about who scores first, but who scores next, and there's a ton of data to suggest that you are most vulnerable within that 2 minutes of a goal being scored. Things can get spiraled out of control and you can hang two on somebody quickly, or you can respond quickly. Just love Shippensburg's makeup.
Exactly, and that's something that a lot of coaches at this level, above and below, harp to their teams. The next 2 minutes of a game, or after you get scored on, or after you score, you are the most vulnerable one way or another, and it's essential that you're able to respond in those 2 minutes and try to catch a team off guard or be resilient.
It was pretty good long work there from Lily Cantabine, good individual effort, but it goes back to the Scarlet. You know, a lot of people talk about Newberry's offense, and for good reason, right? When you outscore teams like that, you're going to get a lot of headlines. But they have surrendered 2 goals in a game only 4 times this year and have never given up more than 2 goals in a game. So it's going to take a long, gritty effort on both ends of the field to knock them out.
Exactly.
Cantabine drags along the left side, and a great job by the center back, Emma Holzmeyer, who is certainly one of the stars in Friday's semifinal win.
After talking to head coach Hannah Dave, she mentioned 2 standout players on the defensive side of the ball. Peyton Keeler, a junior from Bridgeville, Delaware. She said she's an all-around amazing player. She's able to keep things organized. And then, like you said, Emma Holzmeyer being a senior transfer from Lindenwood, able to stop a lot of the big hits on their corners, and she came up huge with a defensive save against Westchester on Friday.
Play around the midfield here. Parker Keeler slowed up and now sends it ahead. Newberry fans are on their feet. Circle penetration. Good chance mounting. Still alive. Kicked away by Emma Albee. The play stops. Haven't talked goalkeepers yet. Emma Albee, a grad student from Basking Ridge, New Jersey. She has more shutouts than anybody who's ever played goalie in Shippensburg history. Ending her career in the national championship game. How special. Kind of a fun note, the first time she ever played a collegiate game was the only other meeting between these two schools in their respective histories. It was back on September 9th, 2022. Second all-time meeting between the SAC champs and the PSAC champs. Handled by Holzmeyer, gets a little pressure. So we'll pull it back.
Hard whistle there for Grassi, tackling from behind. I can imagine that being the warning. The next one will most likely be a card.
I think one of the challenges you have when you're officiating a game like this is finding that middle ground of, hey, you want to let them play, but also have to call fouls when they're fouls.
Yeah, and we shouted out the officials on Friday. They did a great job of managing the game before it could get to the point of extreme physicality by the time the fourth quarter rolls around.
Parker and Peyton Keeler have been instrumental in Newberry's success There's a good pull away from Agustina Montserrat, young lady from Argentina. Dahmen dispossessed. Away by Kayla Snyder, the terrific defensive player for Shippensburg. Approaching the midway point of this first quarter. So far, Shippensburg has been up to the task against a dynamic and explosive offense. Savannah Silvestri almost gave it away in a tough spot. And they'll switch sides of the field. Also want to wish good luck to our Division III and Division I friends who are playing at the same time as this game, although the start times are staggered. Hockey fans across the country are excited to catch all three games today. Division III game has gotten underway. They are closing in on halftime. Last I saw was 1-1 between Tufts and Johns Hopkins. And coming up here in just about 20 minutes, the Division I game will get started. Northwestern and Princeton after a great semifinal between Northwestern and North Carolina. Shippensburg on the left side. You mentioned Hannah White pregame as being a real key for them. There's a lot of things that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. Circle penetration.
And what you saw right there by Hannah White is exactly what she did in the semifinal game, able to feed the ball inside after maneuvering around a couple different defenders. Great use of 3D skills, and she does them so fluidly, and it's really difficult because the defender is trying to anticipate, but when she's deceptive in that, she's able to grab a foot right away like she did here.
The first corner of the game belongs to the Raiders.
The Newberry sideline chanting, defense, defense, defense. Rowdy fans out here.
Tense moment early on as Fergassi sends it in. Handled for a moment. Coche Picone. Block tackle. And another corner.
We saw this on Friday too. Shippensburg, when they're working on their APCs, they do a lot of different passing patterns and different passing plays. I think they're trying to get the defense to shift.
Fergassi didn't hit that one quite as fast as she might have intended. Snyder with the defense on top of her. That was not well executed on the corner. Ship will keep it alive.
And on this surface, you're really looking to figure out what's going to work best for you on an insert. You can see Fergassi pushed that first one. It had a little bit of a lift on it. The second one she inserted with a hit. It's tough sometimes when you're on this type of surface to figure out what skill is going to work for you because it might work differently on your home turf.
Newberry, I mentioned earlier, has never won a team national championship in athletic department history. They do have 4 wrestlers that have won individual national titles in their respective weight classes. There's football team played in the NCAA first round yesterday and won, so good vibes for the Wolves here this fall. Shippensburg, mentioned they've won 4 of the last 8, but they've not won a national title since 2021. Big interception there from Ann Gardner, but whistled. Newberry, of course, trying to help make a little history beyond their own program records. We have never had an instance in Division II history, going back to the inaugural year in 1981, where back-to-back national champions have come from outside the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. And that could happen this year after St. Anselm won in double overtime last year down in Gaffney, South Carolina. Hawks were knocked out in the quarterfinals NCAA tournament this year. Gardner. No corner awarded. Sophia Urzillo helped defend it. In fact, there's only been one team ever in Division II history to win a national championship. Their school is located south of Pennsylvania. And that was in 1981, the first ever championship when Pfeiffer beat Bentley 5-3. Every single winner since 1982 has been a school from Pennsylvania or from the Northeast. Part of the reason why this successful run from Newberry, not just this year, but frankly the last 3 years, has been impressive. Good chance mounting, it is in!
Goose!
Auguste Garibaldi, the senior from Argentina, one of their top offensive threats, gets Shippensburg on the board.
We mentioned how much of a spark she is when she's coming off the bench. Since her freshman year, she's been a threat for this Shippensburg offense. Maintains possession well, just a little flick right past Newberry's goalkeeper. Little bit of a slow roller, but nonetheless on the board for Shippensburg.
Good vibes for Garibaldi, who has her 54th career goal. I mentioned that this is the second all-time meeting between these two programs. She had a hat trick when she was a freshman in 2022 against Newberry. And she comes up with the first goal of the national championship game this afternoon. The Raiders will play from out front. McKenna Boyle initiates the attack. She scored on Friday as they get moving on the left-hand side. Ellie Nadia. It's off of her foot, going the other way. Newberry has trailed so little throughout the course of the entire season, let alone the NCAA tournament. Wonder how they'll respond here, giving up a goal early in the game.
Yep, only their 14th goal they've given up all year. They're not necessarily used to this situation, so really curious to see from a mindset standpoint how they're able to respond, and from Hannah Dave what the messaging is going to be like at the end of this quarter.
Before we get too deep into the game, I want to pick your brain on the turnaround time. You know, these two teams are not intimately familiar with each other. Shippensburg played the second game on Friday, so, you know, are they watching the first semifinal? Sure, but you're still thinking about the game that you have to play, whereas Newberry won the first game and then watched the second one with the intention of scouting somebody. How difficult is it to flip around and get ready for a game of this magnitude?
Yeah, it is challenging at times, and I think this is something the Division I teams are used to. Oftentimes you play this type of schedule where it's Friday, Sunday. You're used to that turnaround. The coaching staff is used to the lack of prep time. You spend your Friday night and you spend your all-day Saturday scouting for the next team, coming up with your game plan, and even your presentation that you're going to give to the team. But this is something that they've had to adapt to just in this championship, semifinals and finals. You don't have a lot of time to prepare. And so you have to make sure that you're giving out the biggest pieces of information to your team that will help them be successful going into championship Sunday. And you have to have leaders that are willing to speak that too. So after you give your scout, do you have a senior leadership group or a leadership group in general that's giving that same type of messaging to the team while you're out on the field? Because it's not something you practice the last 4 days at practice. You had probably 90 minutes during your practice session on Saturday to go over things.
Free hit at the top of the circle for Garibaldi. A lot of credit. Garibaldi takes another shot, stymied, and then knocked away with a penalty corner awarded. I believe they are, I'm sorry, a stroke awarded. They
Looks
are
like
going to review it. If you're unfamiliar, at the national championships for Division II, we do have video referrals available where the teams can ask for a replay. If the evidence is conclusive, they can overturn the call. If it's inconclusive, keep your referral. This is obviously an enormous moment with just 2:18 left in this first quarter. Did you see anything there that warranted a stroke?
From this angle, it's a bit difficult to tell. Nice 3D skill. Rails it. From that angle, it's difficult to see if Newberry's number 29, if it hit her foot on the goal line. Looks like it's just going to be a corner. The official's original call on the field was an attacking corner for Shippensburg. There was not enough evidence to support that a stroke was warranted.
All right. That's much better news for Newberry, who, at least on the field, they were lining up as though they thought they were going to have to defend a stroke. So Shippensburg on the right side. Garibaldi feeds behind her. A chance and a save. Good shot from Boyle. Well done by the young goalkeeper, Ayanda Mangana from Zimbabwe. He's had an excellent season for Newberry. Comes up with a big save there.
And we were informed that that review was initiated by the umpires down on the field. So just for clarity, Shippensburg did not use their referral for that. So both teams still have their referral intact.
Huge momentum change there for Newberry. Seeing a lot more play in the midfield right now than I think we saw in either game on Friday, which had a little bit more of a, playing deep in the offensive ends kind of feel. It has the build-up right now that this game has obviously lots of capable goal scorers on both sides, and yet as we hit the 1 minute remaining mark in this first quarter, it feels like if you're going to win this game, winning 50-50 balls in the midfield is becoming increasingly important.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's going to come down to the individual defense as well as the individual attack. Right now, you can see there's a lot of turnover. No team is maintaining a lot of possession passes consecutively. Shippensburg is holding it a little bit more in their offensive end, but consistently disrupted by Newberry. The challenging part on Newberry's side right now is they're not able to transition to attack and find their connection, which is something they're normally really strong at. And head coach Hannah Dave talked to us about that yesterday. She was going to work on her defense, getting it to her midfield sending it up to the attack and having more of a build because she knew Shippensburg was going to apply this high pressure.
Final 12 seconds of this first quarter clock ticking off at the moment. Shippensburg got a goal from Agus Garibaldi, and right now that is the difference. As the clock expires, first quarter is in the books. Good start for the Raiders from Shippensburg University, trying to win a 5th national championship in the last 9 years. Maybe a little improbable on their way here, but so far so good for the Raiders. Second quarter in the national title game coming up next. Anna Dave looking on as the Newberry Wolves find themselves in a 1-0 deficit. A young lady that has been instrumental in building field hockey in the South. She was one of the freshmen on Limestone's team when they started their program in 2009. They did not win a game that year, and it is awfully cool for her to be in a position now where she's in a national championship game. And on the other side, of course, Raelle Wallace, in her first year leading the Raiders, certainly not her first time as a head coach. Former UConn Husky. For Nancy Stevens, great success during her time up in Stores. Good job by Shippensburg, who lost their head coach, Tara Zollinger, in mid-March. and then didn't hire the new staff until mid-May to get this program in. Back to the expectations don't change, right? It's so difficult to work through coaching changes that late in the schedule, and they've done it well.
And Raelle Wallace told us that it is so essential that she has support around her amidst that transition. She shouted out not only her immediate family, but her in-laws as well, who hosted her in the first couple months of being hired. So incredibly grateful for the support around her during that time.
She's pretty happy to have a home and be settled and feel like she's got some roots. Raelle and Hannah both quite grateful and excited for today, as they should be. Penetration on the far side and a really good job defensively. Kayla Snyder, she's played a big role here early in this game. Amber Tozana cannot get into the circle.
I'm loving the defense that we're seeing from Shippensburg right now. Nice low tackles, but also able to anticipate and come up with some of these interceptions. That's something Raelle Wallace was talking to us about, is they need to limit circle entry from Newberry. If you take a look back at some of the stats that Newberry had in terms of circle entries against Westchester in the semifinal, 44 circle entries against Westchester. Westchester was only able to get 30 circle entries, but 25 out of those 44 actually came from Zone 1. So for those of you unfamiliar with Zone 1, it's if you draw a straight line up from each goalpost, that's Zone 1, and you have the most opportunities to score because you have more angles. So to get 25 of 44 circle entries from that Zone 1, you really have to work on the defensive side of the ball, winning it outside the circle and preventing any type of circle entry. So I'm loving the tackles that we're seeing right now, some of the grittiness on the defensive side of the ball. That's exactly what Shippensburg needs to do. I'm impressed.
Kayla Snyder has anchored that effort, but it is a full team effort for sure. You can't give a team who is as explosive as Newberry opportunities to just charge right down the middle of the field. All the white jerseys around the ball there as Parker Keeler got stymied.
And with that defense outside the circle for Shippensburg, they're shutting down Newberry's connection, which is exactly what they're good at, is finding each other. They're actually suffocating them. So they have less space, they have less time to get their eyes up, find a teammate. So they're doing a great job on the defensive side of the ball.
If you're just joining us here near the top of the 1 o'clock hour, I'm Brendan Gulick, alongside former Division II two-time national champion and All-American Kelsey Likens. Shippensburg goal was a really nice game. A really nice goal came late first quarter from Auguste Garibaldi. 54th goal in her collegiate career. She scored from, I'd say, roughly 15 feet or so, maybe a little closer in front of the cage. Didn't go in with a lot of velocity, just dribbled past Ayanda Wangana. Enough to get Shippensburg on the board here in the national championship game. This bouncer is hit toward the left side, dribbles out. You thought about the tactics and the strategy for these two teams coming into the game. How did your expectations coming in, how are those playing out? Played 20 minutes or so in another corner.
Yeah, one of the keys for Shippensburg was limiting the circle entries, but the other thing they were looking to do after talking to head coach Raelle Wallace is that they wanted to attack Newberry's press. Newberry tends to sit back a little bit in their press, and Shippensburg is better on the move. So taking their first touch on the move, building the attack from the back, but attacking from the back at speed instead of Newberry trying to slow them down. On the flip side of that, Newberry was working on only holding the ball for 3 seconds. That's one thing head coach Hannah Dave was talking to us about yesterday.
Double by Snyder, needs a little help. White dribbles through. Tries to get the ball bouncing and wins another corner. He's kind of feeling like Shippensburg is living on the edge right now. They're not quite sharp. The ball's at least staying in dangerous areas.
Yeah, here's another look at that. Unfortunately, the insert comes a little bit wider. Hannah White able to recover from it and earn another PC for her team, but I'd love to see them clean these opportunities that they're getting up.
White had some shooting space. Good job closing down by Peyton Keeler. Ranging to her right, and now a third corner awarded.
Keeler does a great job on the defensive side of the ball, getting out there. Her stick's nice and low to make that interception. Looked like Shippensburg was trying to do a bit of a give and go from the short option to the top and back to that short option. Again, with the passing plays, I'd love to see a rip just from the top.
Snyder wants to take that chance. It's redirected straight to Mungana. She actually fisted down a second one. And it goes the other way. Newberry's defense tested in a big way, but they hold up. Newberry unhappy that they weren't given advantage.
Here's a look at that corner play again. Looking for the R2 tipper position. Goalkeeper does a great job of, when she's already down, making the second save. Right idea by Shippensburg to try to lift the ball over, but a phenomenal glove save by Newberry.
Perhaps that defensive effort from the Wolves can give them a bit of a spark. Newberry has only taken one shot in this game, which is pretty wild. Number one offensive team in the country. Another circle penetration. Another penalty corner. Right now, Shippensburg is dictating the rhythm and tempo and feel of this game.
Exactly, and I think this goes to show that they have a lot of attacking power. I think they're a little bit better in transition than they are on their set pieces right now. I think they just need to clean a couple things up. Get the speed of this insert out quickly, clean trap at the top, and then get a quality shot on net.
Anna Fragasi on the left. Foot will reset things.
Give Shippensburg a bit of credit, though. If they are fumbling their first touch, at least they're generating another foul. As you see here, weren't able to get a clean trap on it, but Cantabine able to get the foot to give them another PC.
Seventh penalty corner for Ship. They roll it to the right, a chance for Snyder. She couldn't get the shot off quickly enough. Peyton Keeler clamps down defensively.
Keeler is all over the defensive circle. That was a full transfer around the top, going from the L1 position all the way to zone 2 on the right. And that effort for her to stay in the play, when you're down numbers like that on the defensive side of the ball, it's up to you. It's up to you. You have to do your job and be able to work on the fly. Keeler does that really well.
Peyton and Parker both have had really instrumental moments in this game. Pretty obvious when talking with that coaching staff how much they lean on the junior twins. Bridgeville, Delaware.
Very lucky for them to be just juniors.
Set all the way through. Dave, by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, comes from the Lindsey Jackson School of Field Hockey. Lindsey was her head coach at Limestone. They're building a good program there, left for Holy Cross, and was at Holy Cross until just a few weeks ago. Spent over a decade up in the Northeast. Anna gave so much praise and gratitude to Lindsey Jackson and how she's copied so much of her style from what Lindsey taught her. This team feeling like they are clicking on all cylinders offensively coming into this game. Big thing about championship games, though, you throw all the numbers out the window, right? You can look at trends and how you feel, but man, you just got to go out and execute.
Exactly. It's the way you show up. What you had done in the past no longer matters. The present moment is what matters.
Shippensburg trying to clear it out of the middle, and they can't. Parker Keeler needs some help. Back to Peyton. And goes through the middle. Not sure why Veeb Dahmen didn't attack it a little bit more initially. Shippensburg removes the danger for the time being. Asking both coaches about how their teams are handling the stage and the nerves. They both kind of acknowledge that it's okay to have feelings and understand that maybe sometimes those are butterflies, but just go play. It's the same game. Use a stick. Find a way to channel that and turn it into something positive. Try to go achieve a lifelong dream of winning a national championship. Individual play here from Shippensburg in the midfield. Right now, the Raiders have been the better team. Newberry can strike so quickly because their offense is so explosive. Can't lose your head at all defensively. 5.5 minutes left in this first half. Pizzana. And White does it again.
Hannah White does so much of the dirty work for the Shippensburg team. And I think she often goes unnoticed because she might not have the same stats as other people on this squad. But truthfully, she's one of my favorite players to watch. She does so much for this team on the defensive side of the ball, and then she pushes up on the attack. Her fitness level is so high that she can get up and support the play. She makes the hard recovery runs, and she does it for 60 minutes. 60 minutes.
She never comes off the
She
field.
does not come off the field. It's so impressive.
You're right. I mean, everybody can look at a stat sheet and say, okay, gee, these must be your best players because they score certain goals or whatever. But
Right.
Hannah White does all the things that don't show up on a box score. If you watch Shippensburg, number 7 jumps off.
And that's exactly why she was the PSAC player of the tournament.
It's a great tournament run for Shippensburg. They lost 3 games in the regular season. All 3 of those teams they turned around and beat Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference tournament. They scored their opponents now 15-5 in their 6 postseason games between conference and national tournaments. They trailed for a minute and 15 seconds total. Raiders have been red hot. Going it toward the top of the circle. Back to Newberry.
That's something you see quite a bit from Newberry. Head coach Rael Wallace of Shippensburg telling us that they faced a lot of overhead throws against Kutztown. When we asked her about her practice session yesterday, she said they didn't practice it much because they saw it so much on Friday. But definitely a go-to tactical thing that Newberry does quite often is the aerial out of the backfield. Shippensburg is going to have to be in those spaces just like they were on their press in that last play.
The work over there from Emily Bitters, popped in off the bench for Ship. Newberry on the move. Aaron Camp rides the defense, plays it forward, flung back into the middle. Aaron Camp takes the shot. It ricochets up toward the post. Emma Westbrook back centrally. Parker Keeler gets it bouncing, a body save from Albee, redirected off the post. Incredible drama, but Newberry doesn't score.
That was one of the best looks that Newberry has had all game. Strike from the top, gets to the far post over to Westbrook. Nice 3D skill there, another shot on frame. Great hand-eye coordination right in front of the goal mouth, just not enough. But the amount of shots Newberry got in such a short period of time, they need to continue to get those looks.
Emma Westbrook scored on Friday. She's got 23 goals on the season, one of the top goal scorers in the country, regardless of division. She rings one off the right goal post. Another chance here. Dahmen wins a corner. Newberry can feel the momentum shifting late in the second quarter. This is their first penalty corner on the attack all game. The team that generates more than anyone in the country.
And here the play is again, a little flip pass to the inside of the circle. Turns out to be a 50-50 ball. A mistrap by the Shippensburg defender, and it turns into a PC for Newberry. And that's how Newberry has gotten a lot of their circle entry this game, is sending those 50-50 balls in. Put a little lift on it. It's so much more challenging for you to trap on the defensive side. And so if you have that mistrap, then it's another 50-50 ball. And Newberry's doing a great job at winning those in front of the goal mouth right now.
Westbrook, the insert. Stopper up top, Dahmen to Parker Keeler. Westbrook looking for the left post, and she misses it by inches. Shippensburg holds again.
That was a smart play by Newberry, because after this slip, you see this little lifted ball. A little high, but knowing that Shippensburg comes out and protects their feet really well on their defensive penalty corners, that's something that you recognize on a scout, and that's probably why they called that play.
Great save by Emma Albee. She got a piece of that shot with her right leg, and it deflected just a couple inches wide of the left post. Witters feeds it into the middle. And Westbrook starting to really find some rhythm. Play on both ends. Final minute of the first half. This game has certainly had the drama and intensity worthy of a game on this stage. Keeler stepped in front of Lily Cantabine.
See if Shippensburg's defense can hold Newberry off for the last 20 seconds. Their momentum has definitely been building, and if they can stay disciplined here till the end of the first half, will say a lot about them as a team.
Final seconds ticking off. And we've reached halftime. What a game so far. Shippensburg with the only goal of the afternoon late in the first quarter from Auguste Garibaldi. And after what felt like 26 or 27 minutes of lackluster offense for Newberry, the last few minutes of the first half, a real spark for the Wolves. They trail by one at the break, but certainly feel like they are right on the cusp in this national championship chase. Halftime coverage coming up shortly. We'll be back here in just a moment on NCAA.com. Shippensburg 1, Newberry nothing in the 2025 National Championship game. We're at halftime. The Raiders got a goal from Auguste Garibaldi. So far, that is the only difference. As we take a look at some of the highlights in the first half, we have plenty of offensive opportunities for the Shippensburg Raiders team. But, Kelsey, they've only been able to put that one home.
Right, and this is how they get on the board. Garibaldi with the crafty hands here, little 3D skill over top of the defender's stick, a little flip past Newberry to get on the board.
8 penalty corners for Ship, but only 1 goal, and it didn't come off a corner. They need to tighten that up a little bit. Meanwhile, their defense deserves some credit. They played great, especially late.
Exactly, and you can see Shippensburg's collapsing a lot on the ball, but right here, a couple opportunities Newberry got. They had a lot of momentum towards the end of that second period. They got 4 shots in the second period for a total of 5. Only 1 penalty corner, and there it was, trying to capitalize on it, but a nice save by Albee.
Leo Wallace and Hannah Dave both talking to their teams at the break, trying to get them to lock in for the final 30 minutes of the year. The thing I notice most when I see those two shots of the sideline, Newberry looks a lot colder.
You got that right.
We're almost 11 hours away from Newberry, South Carolina. This is hockey weather for the PSAC. It's a perfect day. Temperature is in the mid-40s. We've even got the sun peeking through partly cloudy skies. No rain in the forecast, a little bit of breeze. It's exactly what you'd hope for a championship final. All right, here we go. Start of the second half. Newberry in scarlet and Shippensburg in white if you're just joining us. Newberry apparently gets a free restart. This one's fed in. A chance for Tozana and a save. A second chance and a corner. Emma Albee came up with the big first save. Then Savannah Silvestri kept it out of the net.
Yeah, here's the initial shot, second shot, third shot. Nice stop there right outside the goal line for Shippensburg. They've been so stingy on defense, so stingy.
Something has flipped for the Wolves in the last roughly 5 minutes of gameplay. They were maybe a bit on their heels early on and suddenly now look so much more like themselves offensively. So Emma Westbrook gets ready for the insertion. Up top, Holzmeyer. To her right now, Heemskirk looking for shooting space. It's off of Hannah White's foot. The second corner coming up.
Newberry able to score one goal off of a PC against Westchester. Normally their strength is in transition, but maybe with a couple consecutive corners they could put one away.
Again, Holzmeyer got it bouncing. It's going the other way. Shippensburg's defense gets it done. How about the job that Emma Albee has done, both in actually her individually keeping the ball out of the cage, but keeping this defense organized against such a potent offense.
I completely agree, and I think Shippensburg's defensive corner unit looks like an actual unit, and you need a good leader to be able to command that unit. And I think she does a great job at helping them adapt, and that's a huge part to communication on the ball. And I think she tells people when to step, where to step, how to step, and she does that incredibly well.
Parker Keeler looking underneath for Tozana, and it's pulled away. Feels like the Wolves are so close, tantalizingly close to getting on the board. Haven't been able to do it yet with still a ton of time in front of them.
I think it's coming down a little bit to their shot selection. I think Keeler had a little bit more time than she realized on that last one. I think she could have put her hands together, pulled the trigger instead of it being a push pass on frame. Get a little more power behind their shots. They're looking for a really quick shot, which I can appreciate, but at the same time, you have to have power behind it because this surface is a little bit slower. So I'd love to see them put their hands together and find the space to actually rip shots.
The sportsmanship there between Lily Cantabine and Peyton Keeler. Feeding ahead toward Lily, who had 2 goals on Friday. She was one of 8 different Raiders with 5 goals on the season. They've got a good group on the attack. Playing through Ann Gardner here. Wins it back. Gardner's pass toward the middle didn't come off the way she wanted. With the idea, but execution a little off. Coordination there to stop things. Reese Hivner and Madison Fissel, 2 freshmen that have been phenomenal for the Raiders this year. It's not just about the way the senior class has bought in to the new coaching staff, but those 2 freshmen have played a ton of meaningful minutes, parts to this team as they try to win a national title. Bean. We'll get to the middle. Ran it herself. Emma Swatsky on defense. Really has it taken away, top of the circle.
Like to see Shippensburg try to find one another a little bit better, to get some more quality circle entry, find some passing patterns, so that there's more space when they enter the circle.
Dahmen and Westbrook. That one's redirected off Albee. Emma Albee can't keep it out. Newberry ties it up. Pete Dahmen, 1-1.
We talked about Newberry building momentum at the end of that second quarter. Kudos to them for after a 10-minute break, continuing that momentum coming into this third quarter. Backhand by Westbrook to cross the ball. Albee with the save, not once, twice. Third one, tapped in off the far post. Little backhand flick to get it across.
Vivian Dahmen, young lady from the Netherlands who came to Newberry by way of Coker University. Second team all-conference last year. She's had an incredible 2025 season. Just scored her 17th goal. Also has 10 assists. No bigger goal in her career than that. She has now scored, by the way, at least once in 5 of the last 6 games Newberry's played here in the postseason. We are deadlocked at one apiece, and boy, does this game feel like it is flipped on its head. Shippensburg responded to the adversity on Friday with great composure. Can they do it again? Their defense needs to step up as Dahmen works around Silvestri. Wolves dragging along the end line. Varenkamp, Dahmen in the circle, back to the cage, fires wide left. You can feel the Wolves right now.
Chomping at the bit.
All 11 players, even Ayanda Mungana on the other end, everybody feeling like they're on the brink. Dahmen takes another shot and it's deflected off the post. Westbrook almost put one home. Dragging in, Varenkamp got it bouncing and wins a corner. What has gotten into these Wolves?
It's either what's gotten into the Wolves or where'd that Shippensburg defense go that we saw in the first half. Looking a little frantic, a couple players running to the ball at the same time, leaving some players open right in front of the goal mouth. Kudos to Albee for getting that stick save going out towards zone 3. Great elimination here off the baseline, though. I think they called a stick foul. Newberry earning a PC.
Wolves trying to take their first lead of the afternoon. Holzmeyer to her left. Dahmen gets it rolling in front. Trapped underneath, and another corner.
That was a bit better execution on Newberry's side for the attacking corner. Ball initially coming out to the top with a slip left. She had plenty of time to strike the ball, which is a bit surprising because Shippensburg has done a good job so far at closing down the space and limiting the amount of time that they have to strike. They just need to place that shot a little bit better.
Westbrook to Holzmeyer. Dahmen right back to Emma. Takes her shot, and it got deflected by Hannah White. Defense does its job. Up top to the 23-meter line. Goose Garibaldi late in the first quarter for Ship. Vieb Dahmen scoring just moments ago for Newberry. Hannah White. Her eyes down the field. Is it over in the midfield? It's becoming a bright, sunny afternoon. The shadows on the field now, casting in all directions. Great stick skills. Garibaldi along the end line. I thought it was off Holzmeyer. It is. Starts. Needs a little help. Get it bouncing. Excellent pass. Split the defense. He's got Garibaldi in the middle. Auguste puts it up.
Puts both of them on the board for Shippensburg. Here it is, sent in by Hannah White. Garibaldi flips it up, 3D reception, slaps that ball to the back of the net. Beautiful hand-eye coordination by Garibaldi.
An incredible shot in the arm for the Raiders. Felt like maybe things were slipping from them, and now got the juice they need back as Cantabine runs a good 30 yards plus with it down the right side. These are the moments in your career where your legacy can be defined. Auguste Garibaldi has scored twice in this national final. Give Shippensburg the lead back in the middle of the third.
What's even more impressive about Garibaldi is she hasn't played the same amount of minutes that she has in years past, just due to injury. So again, we talked about when she comes in, she packs a punch. And it's clear that she has been in these types of moments before. She looks so confident over the ball. You see there's no hesitation to what she does. And because of that confidence, she's able to execute in these moments.
There have been a number of players for Shippensburg that have dealt with injuries. Mentioned at the outset, they're as healthy now as they've been in quite a while. Just right in the nick of time issue. They win the last game of the year. Garibaldi, obviously, a huge spark plug for their offense. Maddie Fischel back down the other way. Garibaldi with two really good goals, the second of which was just spectacular. You don't see goals like that very often. Division II, that was well done. This play stops here for a moment. The clock at 5:19. That's Lauren Bruce, one of our umpires who stopped there to make sure Sophia Urzillo had a chance to tie her shoe.
And we talked about circle entries on the Newberry side, how they got 44 in the semifinal game. Looking at the stats, Shippensburg only got 19 attacking circle entries on Friday against Kutztown. Kutztown, 42. So Shippensburg, even though they're entering the circle less, they're executing, and it's quality.
High-level execution. So we get another Wolves attacking penalty corner. Kutztown lost only 2 games all year to Shippensburg. PSAC Tournament Championship on Friday in the national semifinals. It was after the Golden Bears had beaten Chip the last 2 years in that semifinal game. Wolves with a chance, looking for an equalizer. Fired straight down, stymied in front. Good defense. Aaron Camp had to initiate that, but never got close to the cage. Albie's defense holds up. Dahman fires it into the middle. Moves for a moment around the top of the circle. Westbrook spins around, and it's going to Ship. By the way, it looks like the Division III National Championship game between Tufts and Johns Hopkins is headed to overtime. They are tied at 1 after both teams scored in the first quarter. The game also streaming live on NCAA.com. The score we have in the Division I game, Northwestern and Princeton scoreless in the 25th minute. Great hockey, a showcase championship Sunday. That one was not whistled dead. Shippensburg almost had a great chance there. He thought it should have been blown dead a minute ago. Stick skills. Parker Keeler knocked it away. Well defended.
Shippensburg relying on their individual skill quite a bit. Know they're talented, and they use their hands a lot, and at times it is really successful for them. Other times, I'd love to see them just try to find each other a little bit more. Recognize the numbers that you have in front of you and change the point of attack. Find the open space, create the open space, and attack that space. And sometimes I think they're just taking the ball directly into numbers, and they are crafty enough to maybe draw the foul. It's just slower circle entry that way. And it's very choppy. I'd like to see them play a little bit more fluidly, especially within their attacking third.
Good build up here in the midfield. Wolves look for an opening. Keeler. It was well timed, but good defense. Fugazi knocked it out. Didn't hit it fast enough. Peyton turns it over. Aaron Camp jumps on it quickly. Aaron Camp toward the cage. It's home! Newberry ties the game late third quarter.
This is so back and forth. Shippensburg coming out first. Newberry answers. Same thing happening again here in this second half. Aaron Camp entering the circle, not having a lot of vision or time to look up. That is an impressive shot. Far sideboard from zone 3. High quality.
8th goal of the season for Varenkamp. And we are deadlocked at 2.
Stalemates at Division 1, 2, and 3 today. I hope you're all watching. 3 screens should be up.
This is as good as it gets. Shippensburg has ridden the roller coaster after they controlled the first quarter. Newberry's had a lot of momentum. The second and third quarters. Bruce Garibaldi's amazing goal gave them a little cushion. And Newberry's come back and answered. It's a Wolves team that scores on average more than 5 goals per game. By the way, they've never given up 3 goals in a game. Shippensburg has managed 7 total shots. Only 1 in the second half, and it went home. Newberry, a different story. 15 shots after only 1 in the first quarter. Kozana tries to go up top and hits the bar. My goodness. You'd have heard the roars back in Newberry had that one gone home. Kozana intercepts. Amber on her way. Didn't get the stick on it the way she wanted, but earns a corner.
Tizana making two big plays back to back for her team.
Just over 10 seconds left here in the third. Game that's got so much fire.
Here's the shot. Backhand from Tizana. Bounces right off the crossbar. That first opportunity, and then her earning the second one for her team to get an APC.
Westbrook up top, Peyton Keeler. Feeds left, Holzmeyer bounces in front. It's whistled down. Back to Ship, and to the fourth quarter we go. You want drama? We got drama. Shippensburg took a 1-0 lead into halftime, but a 3-goal third quarter. 2 from Newberry and 1 more from Garibaldi has leveled it up at 2 apiece. Fourth quarter of the national championship on the way on NCAA.com. What an afternoon at Bloomsburg University in the national championship. Newberry trailed 1-0 at halftime and then put on an onslaught offensively in the third, outshooting Shippensburg 12-1 and outcornering them 6-0 in the third. The good news for the Raiders, their one shot went in. We are level at 2 in the national final. Brendan Gulick and two-time national champion and All-American Kelsey Likens from Bloomsburg University. A big thank you to our hosts. Bloomsburg hosting this tournament for the 8th time in program history. We're grateful for their hospitality and for hosting great hockey here. 2 good semifinals on Friday. Shippensburg won 3-1, Newberry 3-0, knocking out Kutztown and Westchester, setting the stage for a heck of a final. What do you want to see over the final 15 minutes?
I'd like to see a bit of composure, and I know that's challenging when the stakes are high at a stalemate with less than 15 minutes to play. I think there's just a lot of turnovers on both sides. No team really holding possession. The more you have the ball, the more likely you are to score. And so I just wish that they were connecting a couple more passes, controlling the pace of a game a little bit better, and holding the ball a bit so the defensive team can't win the ball, transition back. You know, there's been a lot of transition both ways, and I'd just love to see someone control the pace of the game. You're going to feel more confident that way when you're holding the ball for longer.
And Nadia's been holding it for a bit on the left side of the circle, looking for a little help. A little too much individual effort there, and ultimately back to the Scarlet. The Wolves' athletic tradition dates back to 1899 when their baseball team first started playing. Of course, for the longest time, we're known as the Indians, for rebranding about a decade ago at this point. Newberry College has never won a team national championship. They have 4 wrestlers that won individual titles. But it's like you can feel the weight of every student athlete that's ever played at Newberry, hoping that finally today will be their moment in the sun, and they would have to do it against one of the true dynasties in Division II field hockey history. Shippensburg has won 4 of the last 8, 5 total Division II national titles. Also won 1 title in 1979 in the AIAW, so 6 total national championships in school history. An adversity for the Raiders this season. It hasn't been quite as easy. Defense stepping up. I think one of the things you want to see in a game like this, as the tension builds, who can keep their heartbeat a little lower.
Yeah, it's important to, obviously you want to rely on that adrenaline, but you need to know the times when to push. You need to know the times to hold back, and that's what I was talking about at the beginning of this quarter, of being able to control the pace and the momentum of this game. When you're turning the ball over so often, it makes that harder to do. And so if you are having possession of the ball, it's a lot easier to do that.
Tozana's been a great spark. Got whistled dead for a moment. She'll play back to a teammate for a free hit. Remember Tozana, freshman from Zimbabwe. Something about the way she has played today caught coach's eye. Dragging along the end line, carrying it quite a bit. Walker Keeler gave it up. Shot back in front, still loose. Albee is trying to put herself in the best position possible. Oh, it goes back to Ship.
Tough position Albee was in there. She came out a little bit to take that first shot. In the middle of her standing up, second shot comes in. That's a tough situation as a goalkeeper.
Is this the first card we've seen all game? My goodness. Lily Cantabine is given a green card. Did not see what the violation was for, but Ship is down a player for 2 minutes.
This is where possession is more important than ever. You are down a player. Unfortunately, you're in your defensive end right now. So if you're Newberry, you want to keep it in your attacking end. Shippensburg needs to win possession of the ball and keep possession. Oh, unfortunate upgrade just happened here. I think they called Hannah White, number 7, for pushing the ball after the call was already stated by the official.
Huge moment. Another attacking penalty corner. Newberry looking for a go-ahead goal. The fourth quarter of the national final. Westbrook up top. Ames Kirk. Had her shot blocked. Boy, that didn't feel good. Kelly Nadia. Had to see her pop right back up. One of the captains for the Raiders. Took one in the chest.
Yeah, here's the strike again. Unfortunately, her body's in line with the ball, comes up and hits her right in her chest. She really did take it like a champ, though.
By the way, in overtime, Tufts beat Johns Hopkins. It's like Hannah Picard scored the national championship clinching goal just over a minute into overtime up in Connecticut. Congratulations to Tufts on the national championship at Division III. Meanwhile, we have a second green card coming out.
Tozana.
It's coming out, Tozana. We are 10 players apiece. 9 field players apiece on the field. Shippensburg's goals have both come from Auguste Garibaldi, one late first, and one firecracker goal in the third quarter. That is still, by the way, the only shot Shippensburg has officially registered the entire second half. Loose in the circle, popped into the middle, maybe something here. Raiders clear it over. Nadia up top, and it's going back to Newberry.
Liked that sequence a little bit better by Shippensburg. They were passing the ball around the top of the circle, able to find a little bit of space for her to get that shot off. Just if it's going to go in the air like that, it needs to be on frame, and that's why it got called coming the other way for Newberry.
Lily Cantabine has just run back on, and so Shippensburg for a short time has an advantage, with Tozana still serving her 2-minute penalty. I do not see Garibaldi on the field right now. Is she over on the far side? Nope, that's Emily Bitters. Yeah, I think 10 is on the bench at the moment for Ship.
With her limited minutes, I can imagine she might come in a little bit closer to the end of this period.
Trying to hold her for those final minutes.
Exactly.
See if somebody else can step up in the meantime. There she is. Garibaldi, the senior from Argentina. And Gardner. Nadia getting central. Holding around Swatsky. Feeds it into the middle. It's off of Holzmeyer. Up top to the 25. Zana just ran back on, and we are at full strength both ways. Anna White. That was off of Dahmen. And working around. Back to Newberry. Tensions rising as we eclipse 53 minutes of action.
Newberry using the aerial ball quite frequently this game. I'd love to see them find the open spaces to utilize that. It's pretty consistently going directly to Shippensburg. They did have one nice throw to their attacking right corner of the field to gain circle entry, but I'd love to see them utilize that a little bit better.
Dahmen couldn't fire the shot off. Hannah White had just smothered it. Now Cantabine trying to get up the field the other way as quickly as possible. Great work from Lily individually. She's got Swatsky on skates.
Really good at changing the direction of the ball. She gets the defender to go one way. She turns them. They go the other way, arguably beating them 3 different times.
Lily needs some help. And the clock runs out on her. Excellent individual sustained effort. Good defense, too, from Peyton Keeler and company not to give up on it. Filzana. Beautiful. Trying to switch sides of the park. Good high press here from Ship. Division II National Championship coming down to the wire into the 56th minute. Shippensburg find a crack on the right side. The first 20 minutes of this game, Shippensburg was decidedly the better team. But from that point on, it has been all Newberry, with the exception of one truly spectacular goal. The only shot Ship has registered in that time, as McKenna Boyle has just been sent over on a cart.
Unfortunate stick foul from behind for Shippensburg. Another 2-minute card. I can imagine some of these fouls being upgraded moving forward. That's our 3rd green card. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a yellow coming here soon.
Holzmeyer pressed by Gardner and pulls it away. Start for Fragassi. No, I beg your pardon, for Newberry. Who's going to step up in a big moment? Full head of steam for the Wolves. Dahmen. White's behind her and defends well again. Hannah White. Three and a half minutes to go. Shippensburg from the midfield line. Spacing on the attack. Parker Keeler intercepted. Job by Nadia. Does not have numbers. Tripped from behind, and another card is coming out, and this one is yellow. Wow. With 2:52 to play, the rest of regulation, and potentially the beginning of overtime, Newberry down a player. Shippensburg with a huge advantage the rest of the way.
Keeler, I love the way that after she lost that ball, she was hustling and having reverse pressure, tackling back. Just unfortunate to, come onto the body. Tough person to lose with so little time left in the fourth.
Shippensburg's penalty has expired, and so now they are at a player advantage the rest of the way. Hannah White looking, bouncing, corner. 2:17 to go as the Raiders have a chance to set up a set piece.
Hannah White using her hands here. She's so talented at seeing the defender's stick come in last minute and changing the line of the ball, adapting her elimination skill to whatever's being thrown at her. It's really impressive. She's not the type of player that comes into a situation with a set plan. She's incredibly adaptable, and she can anticipate what's going to happen. That's a high-level skill. That's what makes elite players.
Pride of Washington High School along Maryland's Eastern Shore and Princess Anne. Cantabine to the right. White spins around. The defense won't give up on her. White feeds it back forward, and finally Swatsky swats at it. Shippensburg can't enter on the right side. Newberry's mentality, down a player, has to change a little here. Obviously, you want to score if you can get it. Don't make a mistake that will cost you a critical tactical advantage. 90 seconds to go. Silvestri bouncing forward, Gardner. Well, if you're a Newberry fan, love to see the ball in the other half of the field. Not just because you can score down there, but it keeps it away from your cage. Final minute. Wolves are trying to get to overtime as the Raiders add as much pressure as they can here down the stretch. Hannah White.
It's the player you want the ball in the hands of. It's only about 25 seconds to go in your attacking half.
White behind her, a chance mounting. Ragazzi trying to vie for it along with Cantabine. And another card is coming out. My goodness. Is that a yellow card?
Looks like it's on for Gassi from Shippensburg.
Oh my. 16.5. The yellow card on the Wolves came with 2:52 to play in regulation. And so we're at level strength here on a game that now is destined for overtime. What a national final. You want to talk about teams that are playing with absolutely everything they've got. Shippensburg a bit more opportunistic, heading shot volume, incredible offensive presence and pressure from the Wolves. And we've got free hockey in the national championship game. Quick timeout on NCAA.com. What more could you ask for than free hockey in the final game of the year? A national champion to be determined in mere moments. 2-2, Newberry and Shippensburg on NCAA.com. Kelsey, why don't you explain the overtime rules for folks that may not be familiar?
Overtime, first period is 10 minutes. If necessary, we go into a second OT period. That would also be 10 minutes. However, it's golden goal. So you'll see here there's less players on the field, 6 field players, 1 goalkeeper, making this 7v7. However, Shippensburg with the card.
Both teams right now.
Both teams with the card. So going into OT, down numbers.
Shippensburg will be at a bigger disadvantage, I would say, because the card for Newberry came with 2:52 on the clock left in regulation. So they've only got a couple minutes before they'll have an advantage. We're going to see almost 5 full minutes where Shippensburg would be down a player, and with such few players on the field, so much spacing, that is an enormous tactical disadvantage. See how it works out. Newberry trying to win a national championship for the first time in school history. The only other team ever to win a national title with their school is south of Pennsylvania. Came back in 1981 in the first ever D2 championship. That was Pfeiffer, who beat Bentley. The SAC, obviously only a couple years with an auto bid. There's a chance. Peyton Keeler kicked away. Job by Emma Albee. Student goalkeepers had a great year. This one is handed down. Shot from a long way out from Montserrat. White wins possession for Ship.
Not surprised Newberry got the first shots off of this OT period. With how much speed this team has, they can attack the amount of space with the numbers.
Newberry dragging on the left. Peyton Keeler just missed it. Good kick save. Keeler is tripped, but it is apparently going back up top. Ball across the end line first. Gritty defense from Shippensburg. So Zana's been amazing since she came on as a sub, to the point where you almost can't afford to take her off the field. And now Cantabine surging the other way. Holzmeyer running step for step with Lilly. The real fire of this Raider offense takes her shot. Bouncing in front. It's directed in! The dynasty lives! Shippensburg! 5 titles in 9 years!
So impressive by Shippensburg. Although Newberry got the first couple shots coming into this OT period, Shippensburg needed 1 chance. 1 chance is all it took in this OT period to take Shippensburg 3-2 and make them national champs. Cantabine coming down here on the left side, takes 1 hand off her stick, turns the defender, turns her again, backhand, with the finish. Unbelievable.
Nadia, a senior from South Africa, gets the game winner, the goal of her life. What an amazing journey for Shippensburg University. We had a coaching change in the offseason. New staff came in mid-May. The leadership that bought in from this senior class, the coaching staff collectively said that alone enabled this to even be possible. And here they are after losing 3 times in the regular season. They sweep the postseason and win a national championship for the 7th time in school history, their 6th Division II title. NCAA Newberry, his first ever championship.
Shippensburg savoring the moment, hugs all around, some tears, some bent over exhaustion. Well earned. Although Newberry outshot them in this game, doesn't matter about the amount of shots, it's the quality. They capitalized on the opportunities that they did have. Good moment to be a Raider.
I mean, it's amazing. Look at the stats here in the second half. Shippensburg took 2 shots, and they scored on both of them while being outshot nearly 16-2 in the second half. Unthinkable. We used the word opportunistic on Friday. It felt perhaps that was part of the story when they were able to withstand the early Kutztown offense. They just wouldn't give up. You didn't see a lot of Auguste Garibaldi down the stretch. She scored the 2 goals in the first and third quarters.
She set them up and put them in a great position to even get to this point. Don't believe she stepped onto the field during overtime. But they didn't need her in that moment. They have plenty of other people ready and willing to step up.
Nadia Wallace says she'll work hard for anybody. She is as selfless as anybody on the team. It is her name ultimately that will go down for all of eternity. Division II game-winning goal scorer in the 2025 National Championship Final. Let's take a moment here to recognize what Newberry accomplished this year. Perhaps safe to call them Queens of the South, not just the SAC. An incredible team with offensive prowess you don't usually see. This is certainly a tough moment. Agonizing close. Trying to finish it off. The impression.
I agree. This team does have a lot of depth. They've worked incredibly hard to get to this point. Being somewhat of a new program, it's been a slow build. The last 3 years have been instrumental for them. You have to be proud as a coach in this moment still, because your team just made history.
An amazing season for Newberry that ends with a 20-1 record. South Atlantic Conference champions and the national runner-up. Emma Westbrook among those who are seniors on this Newberry roster who are so good. We wish the Wolves well, especially those young ladies that will graduate. On the flip side for Shippensburg, what an incredible way to cap off the career. A lot of these young ladies in 2022, they were national runner-up when these seniors were freshmen. They came into a program that had won an undefeated season and national championship in 2021. Wanted to make sure they had a ring of their own. Amazing adversity they overcame, and Shippensburg gets it done. I just want to say it is so impressive to see the way this program has continued time and time again, from Bertie Landis to Tara Zollinger, and now in year 1, coming over from Slippery Rock, Raelle Wallace keeps the standard high, and Shippensburg University is the last team standing. Emotional moment, by the way, for Raelle, who as a senior in college lost in the Final Four at Division I. It was her first ever national championship game as a player or coach. Despite an amazing career at UConn, she has led this team to its first championship. A lot of fun. Your final thoughts here?
I'm very happy for the Shippensburg program, specifically head coach Rael Wallace. It's difficult to step in and be a head coach of a program and then to win a national title in your first year says a lot about you. And she credits so often this senior class and the rich tradition and the amount of support that their program has departmentally, from their families, from her immediate family, from her in-laws. She said this is the perfect recipe for success. When you have a rich tradition, you have buy-in from your team, and you have support in the areas that you need. I am very happy for her and the Shippensburg team as they continue their tradition of success.
College field hockey is alive and well. What an incredible national championship game, culminating in a winning moment on the only shot Shippensburg took in overtime. They get it done quickly. Lily Cantabine, Kelly Nadia, national championship victory. We'll continue our coverage here with the public address announcer during our trophy presentation, but in the meantime, we'll lay out for the rest of our coverage. So for Kelsey Likens and our entire production crew, I'm Brendan Gulick. Thank you to Bloomsburg University for being gracious hosts here this weekend, and congratulations to the Raiders, the 2025 national champions.
First, the runner-up team in this year's NCAA Division II Field Hockey Championship, finishing with a record of 20-1, the Newberry Wolves. The following individuals who please come forward to receive their awards. Number 2, Thea Pankos. Number 3, Emma Swansky. Number 6, Emma Westbrook. Number 8, Annette Hamsker. Number 9, Sophia Grisella. Number 10, Vika Farrenkamp. Number 11, Amber Tizana. Number 13, Peyton Keller. Number 14, Ethan Dahman. Number 15, Parker Keller. Number 17, Abigail Lingwa. Number 18, Augustina Montserrat. Number 20, Katie Sharon. Number 21, Charlotte Putnam. Number 22, Zoe Barker. Number 23, Ella Weinhold. Number 24, Caroline Franken. Number 25, Olivia Smith. Number 27, Emmy Beck. Number 28, Ella Alardes. Number 29, Emma Holzmeyer. Number 36, Savannah Light. Number 76, Kensley Harris. Number 79, Ayanda Mangina. Number 1, Grayson Wright. Number 8, Olivia Schrecker. Number 16, Georgia Langley. Number 26, Emma Ray. Number 32, Gabriella Zachary. Number 59, Olivia Zabacki. Athletic trainer, Elizabeth Waters. Strength coach, Alexander Tierney. Assistant coach, Tamsin Banger. Assistant coach, Zafalo Maheka. Will head coach Hannah Dave and the team captains please come forward to accept your trophy. Congratulations to Newberry on a fantastic season. Let's all of these outstanding student athletes, coaches, and staff a round of applause. And now, the 2025 NCAA Division II Field Hockey National Champions. Presenting the awards are members of the National Committee. Will the following individuals please come forward to receive your awards? Number 2, McKenna Boyle. Number 3, Ian Gardner. Number 4, Gabby Wamillick. Number 5, Carme Karakoche Pregame. Number 6, Avery Austin. Number 7, Hannah White. Number 8, Elena Fergasi. Number 9, Tracy Hibner. Number 10, Agus Garibaldi. Number 11, Emily Bitters. Number 12, Ava Kinsey. Number 15, Tess Taylor. Number 17, Hanukkah Medea. Number 21, Kelly Nadia. Number 22, Lily Cantabine. Number 24, Kayla Snyder. Number 26, Madison Bissell. Number 27, Savannah Silvestri. Number 86, Gabby Gomer. Number 88, Grace Fink. Number 99, Emma Albee. Assistant coach, Zane Bowler. Assistant coach, Annabelle Skubitz. Assistant coach, Katie Lenando. Well, head coach, Rael Wallace, and the two captains. Shippensburg Raiders, your 2025 NCAA Division II Field Hockey National Champions. Once again, your 2025 NCAA Division II Field Hockey National Champions, the Shippensburg Raiders. behalf of the NCAA, our host is TV from Bloomberg. We thank you for your attendance at the 2025 NCAA Division II Field Hockey Championship. Once again, congratulations to our champions, the Shippensburg Raiders. Have a safe trip home. See you next year in Kansas City.